Hello, welcome to Alyssa Jean's Reviews, and welcome to my review for Star Trek Lower Decks, Season 4, Episode 7, A Few More Badgeys. So this review is a little delayed because I was traveling on Thursday when the episode came out. Usually I try to get it out Thursday morning, but was not able to do that, so hopefully some of you still were able to check this video out more than a day late. So, of course, there are spoilers in this video. If you have not seen that episode by now, you should have seen it, of course. So, this episode was okay. It was fine. I had to watch it on a plane ride. On my way back, I watched that, and I watched the newest episode of Loki, and I watched Our Flag Means Death. Yeah, it was okay. I had heard that the three AIs were all coming back together, and I thought that maybe they would have all three of them in one storyline, but I guess it does sort of make sense. Badgey wouldn't really know Artemis and Peanut Hamper, so I guess they would be separate, but yeah, I don't know. Let's just jump right to it. Let's jump to the thing that I dislike the most in this episode. I'm just going to get into it. I'm not going to do like an overview and then a separate like go through the episode type of thing. Let's just jump into it. Let's jump into the one thing that I dislike the most, and then I'll talk about a lot of things that I really did enjoy in this episode. And if you know my channel, you could probably already guess the thing I dislike the most, and that is Peanut Hamper. She was the star of the worst episode in Lower Decks, one of the worst episodes in the entire Star Trek franchise, and that is the Mathematically Perfect Redemption from last season. And I hate that episode so much because they took they took us away from the wonderful character stories we had been seeing with our beloved characters over the previous two episodes. Two of my favorite episodes of the series, actually, episodes 5 and 6 of last year. They took us away from that to focus on the world's most obnoxious character, and it would have been okay if they actually followed through with a redemption arc instead of going, psych, she's still horrible. And so I wasted all that time watching this character have no character growth whatsoever. So I'm a little annoyed that this year, after they went through all of that time last year, having her connect with these bird people and like fall in love with this bird guy and do all these things that should be leading her to a redemption arc, and they go, oh no, she actually hasn't changed at all, to then all of the sudden, for no reason, she has a redemption arc? Fuck you! Like, no, it's too late. That ship has sailed. She doesn't get a redemption arc now. You had your chance to do that last season and decided to do this like clever, ruse, this clever like, oh, we're gonna fool you, we're gonna pull the rug out from under you, this bullshit. You decided to do that. Now the redemption for Peanut Hamper, that ship has sailed. You can't all of a sudden, just for basically no reason, or for maybe reasons off screen, I guess we are to assume she developed this bond with Artemis that kind of brought out the good in her or whatever, off screen mostly, and that now she wants to go back to her family. Fuck you, Lower Decks. Like, no, it's too late. So, fuck Peanut Hamper. May we never see that fucking character ever again. Okay. I got that a whole lot of my system. Now I can talk about the aspect that I love the most about this episode, and that is Artemis and Jeffrey Combs returning as the evil genius supercomputer Artemis. I love Jeffrey Combs so much. We would love to see him in live action again at some point, but we'll settle for his brilliant performance as Artemis. Artemis is so funny and so good in this episode. I love how he's trying to make himself blue, and he goes, I'm turning blue! And it was like this effort. And then when Boimler and Tindy saw him, they were like, oh, well, he is blue, so I guess he must be good now, which was hilarious, although they never really seemed to fall for it. They were kind of just trying to get that information out of him. And but all of that was good, and I like that Artemis has a genuine. See, this is how you do redemption arcs, Lower Deck. A genuine arc where he conquers this planet, and it makes him feel empty inside, and he realizes that he misses Peanut Hamper, and he wanted Peanut Hamper. It was really all it was all along was he just wanted to do something with Peanut Hamper and have a bond with her. And that's really sweet. and that's all he wanted. And at the end, he genuinely turns blue for real. And I love at the end where he's telling the other computers, like, and then I will go hang out with Peanut Hamper and we'll be friends. Like, that's his evil plan. That's so good. This is Lower Decks at its best. That is good. And while we're talking about the evil supercomputers, gotta talk about the evil supercomputer therapy group. So, it was like Dr. Killamus or something, where he was like, and I will conquer my fears and conquer my feelings. So good. I think that was the one that Artemis was talking to at the end. And I love how they portrayed the supercomputer jail where they're like, they have therapy groups and they're watching movies. Lower Decks, I love you. So good. So Peanut Hamper thing, like, I can deal with to get to this stuff. May we never see Peanut Hamper again. Artemis, we probably don't really need to see again, honestly, but I do really actually love that character, and I love the direction they took that character in. Now we get the Badgey part of the show, and I not only was I kind of thinking maybe they'd have all three of them together, but I also thought, I don't know, maybe the Badgey thing would be a little more important because that they teased it at the end of the post-credit scene, the very, very rare, maybe only post-credit scene in Star Trek, and they teased it at the end of season 3. I thought it would be a bigger deal, I guess, that maybe it would tie into the overall storyline this season, but it didn't. It's just a whatever. It's just Badgey's back up to his old tricks again. And I did enjoy this one, too. I did like how every time Rutherford would try something to bring out the good in Badgey, to bring out the logic in Badgey, Badgey would just expel that part of him and just create new Badgeys. And there was Goodgy and Logicy. R.I.P. Logicy. I liked Logicy. I mean, maybe they thought it was a little bit too much Vulcan-like, so they didn't want to keep that character around. Where is Tillan, by the way? 2 weeks in a row, no Tillan. We need her back. Anyways, so and then Goodgy was kind of useless. Like I wanted Goodgy to like do more good stuff instead of just going, "This is swell," like. Yeah. So, but Goodgy. I mean, that's a funny name. Yeah. So I did like all of that, and I liked that it seemed like Badgey was unstoppable. I don't know how I feel about the resolution, though, that he's like becomes just so omniscient that he's like, oh, well, none of this matters anymore, so I'm just going to go off with the koala now in the Black Mountain. So, I don't know. I have mixed feelings on that. It's fine. It is what it is. I think we can put the Badgey thing to rest at this point. Like, I don't think you can squeeze any more juice out of this. So that's enough for that. So I did want to talk about too the storyline with the that ship that keeps coming and making all these aliens disappear. We do get confirmation. I said before, I don't know if they're being killed. I think they're like disappearing them. We do get confirmation in this episode that they're just being kidnapped rather than killed. And this week we get the Binars, which that's a deep cut from season 1 of Next Generation. So that was good. And we actually get the main plot tie in a little bit because Badgey comes and sees the remnants of the Binars there. So that's interesting. So this kind of made me... I was thinking about storylines from last season that were left unresolved. One of them was the Badgey one. We got that wrapped up now, and I thought that might be tied into the main storyline, and it wasn't. But there was another one that's left hanging that I think maybe is tied into the main storyline. And here is, I'm going to do like my heavy spoilers impersonation. Theory time, theory time, theory time, theory time, theory time, theory time. Here's my theory on this is that those little ships that are coming in and they're, we now know, kidnapping all these aliens. None of them are Federation ships. They're all different species. I think it's Section 31, and William Boimler is involved. This is what William Boimler is up to. William Boimler is behind all of this. That he is helping Section 31 to kidnap all these different species for reasons we do not know yet. But that is my theory. This is Section 31, and this is William Boimler. And I want it to be that because if they're not going to tie the Badgeys storyline into the main story arc, then they should tie in the William Boimler storyline into the main story arc. Because that was the other hanging thread from last year. So I would like to see that, and this is my theory that is what this is William Boimler in Section 31. I don't know the reasons why they're doing this. Hopefully it's something. It's not something that's just really dumb. So hopefully it's something interesting. That is my theory. Anyways, yeah. So that's about all I got to say about this week's episode. It was okay. Yeah, it was good. So let me go ahead and give my rating out of 10 for season 4, episode 7 of Lower Decks. With 1 being the lowest possible score, 10 being the highest possible score, my rating out of 10 is a 7. Solid. I would give it higher based off the Artemis stuff, if not for the peanut hamper stuff. And then the Badgey stuff kind of balances. It's kind of neutral. So it doesn't shift the scales one way or the other. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a 7 out of 10. And I will say at this point, I do not think Season 4 is better than Season 3. Season 3, at this point, had episodes 5 and 6. And actually, episode 2 was really good, too. Some of my favorite episodes in the series. And I don't think anything in the season so far is as good as any of those. However, often Lower Decks does like to do the last 3 as their strongest. And we got the last 3 coming up, so that could change. I'm open-minded that Season 4 could still surpass Season 3 if they really crush it in at least 2 of the last 3. Or if they crush it in all 3, then maybe it is way better in Season 3. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But at this point in time, I still got Season 3 higher ranked than Season 4. But we got time. We'll see what happens. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching my review of Lower Decks. Next week, I'll be back on Thursday mornings to review Season 4, Episode 8. Also, please check out my Star Trek Top 100 videos. I just released my Top 100 and number 5. Sorry for the scratchy voice I have in that video. But hopefully you can enjoy it anyways. And I will see you all really soon. Subscribe if you have not already. Goodbye, everybody.